Hey everyone! Today, or well just now, I finished watching the next episode of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I have my notes here, and I'm trying out a new thing. I have music going. I don't know if that'll make people like the video anymore. I have a bunch of like old Power Ranger video game music playing, so I don't know, something. So, oh, and I have a new shirt. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, isn't that cool? So yeah, anyway, this one is one I've been looking forward to. I've always really liked this one. This one actually got a tape release back in the day, but I didn't have it for some reason. I had Curse of the Cobra, but I didn't have this one. I don't know why I didn't have this, because I really like this episode. So, at the beginning, there's a little funny little bit where there's really dramatic music playing, and Carter turns to the other Rangers, "Okay guys, let's do it!" And then they all just go to the beach. It's a dumb thing, but it's kind of funny. Let me... Whoa. It's really bright. Move my light. Whatever. Who cares? Do people actually watch this, or do they just listen to it? Not even really that many people watch it. I think I watch these back when I upload them, and like 9 other people do. Whatever. Anyway, I'll do it anyway. Yeah, the Rangers are going to the beach, and Chad is kind of bummed out, because the beach reminds him of Marina, the mermaid girl that he met a couple episodes ago. He misses her. He doesn't see her too much. I don't really know why. They don't really give a reason why they don't see each other. But anyway, just as he's thinking about her, we cut to her, and her father is telling her about how she has to prepare to be queen someday. This plot point goes nowhere. She never shows up again. King Neptune never shows up again. Oh, that's her father, King Neptune. Oh, and I missed it when I was watching it, and I didn't go back, but apparently they live in Atlantis. So yeah, Atlantis exists off the coast of California. Did you know that? So anyway, at the Skull Cavern, the bad guy's base, Diabolico has a new plan, and one of the really neat things is it's a pretty smart plan that he has this time. He has a little view screen, and he's spying on King Neptune, and he points to the trident that Neptune has, the staff, and he says, "With that trident, we can drain all the water from Mariner Bay and attack the Aqua Base." And, let's see, he's found this new demon, Aqua Fiend, who just happens to live in a lagoon nearby. Alright. I guess he didn't know he was already there, but back to the, going through my notes. Oh yeah, Jinxer is listening in on all this. He's not okay with this. He doesn't like Diabolico, Loki, and Vipra anymore. I don't know. He wants Olympius back in power, so he sneaks out to this cave to go take care of Olympius, who he's hiding out in the cave. And there's a funny little bit. Olympius is in the cave, and he has one arm, like, in a sling, and then there's a headband. Like, it's not, like, to cover a wound or anything. It's, like, above his head. It's on his horns and the tips of his ears. I don't know. I guess I had extra material left over from that sash, and so he just decided, oh, I'll make a headband. That'll be cool, right? Maybe? I don't know. So then, let's see. Anyway, I was wondering, like, why does Jinxer want Olympius in power so much? Is it have something to do with he was the one who raised him back when he was Impus? Maybe. I don't know. Back to the episode. Diabolico goes to the lagoon, summons Aquafiend. Aquafiend knows who Diabolico is. Which, if they knew each other previously, why didn't they use this guy earlier? Like when the Rangers first showed up and they first learned of the Aqua Base. I don't know. Oh, and then there's kind of a funny bit. He summons Aquafiend, and Aquafiend goes to steal the trident, and he just takes it. There's, like, no defense around King Neptune. There's no, like, there's no anything. There's no security at all down there. He just goes in and he takes it. But I was still kind of impressed with the scene just because of how it looked. This is something that Power Rangers doesn't usually do, but, like, there is a ton of effort put into this set, and just everything about it to, like, sell it as it's really underwater. It's really cool. I wrote it down here. Let's see, oh yeah, Aquafiend, one of the cool things is, let's see, this is underwater, King Neptune's throne is on this, it looks like a sunken ship, and Aquafiend comes, like, swimming down, like, slowly, like, moving his arms and legs, like, swimming motions, while I'm guessing he's on a wire that's, like, slowly lowering him down. And the really cool thing is you can't see the wire, and his movements, they, like, are synced so perfectly to how he's lowering at the right time. And also combined with, there's, like, this kind of blue-gray lighting over everything, or a filter. I don't know exactly what they did. And then there's the backgrounds. The backgrounds are a very murky gray, and it looks like underwater. And it's, like, really good because later on in this episode, they actually do show Marina actually underwater. And one of the things that's interesting is it's still obvious they're not actually underwater. It's like, it's all just a trick. It's, filming trick. But it works so well. It's not really distracting. Like, back in Mighty Morphin, and I think in, was it In Space, they went underwater a couple times? Once or twice? I don't remember. But anyway, I know back in Mighty Morphin, like in Oyster Stew, the Megazord is fighting the Oysterizer underwater, and it looks just silly. Like, it wasn't supposed to look super serious or realistic, but it also, like, it doesn't look very good. So that's one of the things that they've really improved on that here. And there's even Japanese footage of scenes underwater, and they are also really good. I'm wondering if maybe the US footage tried to mimic some of what they were doing to improve on their own footage. Maybe. Anyway, back to the actual episode, enough of that rant there. Blah, blah, blah. Marina takes human form to contact Chad, and Chad just has the best reaction when he sees her walking with legs. He's like... It's awesome. So then she tells him that, let's see. Oh yeah, she takes him to a magic place. Okay. I guess it's where the trident has the most power or something. So yeah, anyway, but she can't be on land for too long, and he leaves her in the shade. He goes on alone. The Rangers show up, and Chad's like, "There's no time to explain," Vroom, and dives in the water to get the trident, and the other Rangers are like, "Okay, what?" So then Chad's underwater. He's fighting off Aquafiend, trying to get the trident, and meanwhile, Marina is drying out, and we actually see, like, they have makeup on her shoulders to make it look like her skin is drying out, and that's kind of a cool, subtle thing. Vipra shows up, and Marina sees her and recognizes her from the last episode where she met Vipra. So that was a cool little callback, a neat little continuity thing. Something that in some other seasons, I'm trying to remember, there was some really infamous part later on in I think a recent season, where somebody sees one of the villains and they know who they are, even though they've never seen them and they shouldn't know who they are. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. It's a nice little touch that Vipra is the one who shows up and she's the one that Marina recognizes, because they're the ones who had any kind of extended interaction before. So then the other Rangers are about to go in after Chad, but then Batlings show up. They're holding the Rangers back. But then, let's see, Chad is able to get the trident. He defeats Aquafiend. Aquafiend comes back up on the surface. He's fighting with the Rangers. And, oh, there's a typo in my notes here. Let me fix that. There we go. Anyway, the Rangers defeat Aquafiend, but then Viper shows up with Marina held captive, and Viper takes the trident and uses it to make Aquafiend grow. Okay, I guess it can do that too. And one of the weird things is the trident grows too. That was kind of cool. I remember being a kid and seeing that and thinking, oh wow, that's really different. And there's American footage of a giant Aquafiend, so that's cool because we don't usually get American footage of like giant monsters or Zord battles like that. So that's pretty cool to see American footage of a giant Aquafiend. And then, let's see, Chad activates his Mega Battle Armor, and he uses a water cannon on Viper and the Batlings. They leave, they save Marina, or Chad is going to take Marina back to the water. The other Rangers get the Megazord, they defeat Aquafiend, they get the Trident, they take it back to the Aqua Base where Chad has Marina. Okay, I don't know why he didn't just take her to the beach. Whatever. Anyway, he has her in the little, like, water entry part of Lightspeed Rescue, and Dr. Fairweather's there. She says that she doesn't know how to help Marina because there's no information, or there's no data available on her species, which, that's a cool little thing. So then, they're worried about Marina. Marina doesn't seem to be doing too well, but she's happy that she was able to contact Chad and that he helped her. And then a weird thing happens. Neptune shows up, kind of. He's CGI water. I don't know why. Maybe they couldn't get his actor back, or maybe his actor didn't want to go in the water. Like, I read, on Ranger Wiki, the guy who plays King Neptune, he was born 1929. So in 2000, he'd be, getting on in years. So yeah, maybe he just didn't want to, jump in the water in makeup or anything. So yeah, he's CGI water because, and the Rangers give him the staff, or the trident, and that seems to, like, re-energize him and Marina, and they go back to Atlantis, or wherever. And then it ends with Chad's back on the beach thinking of Marina. He's really bummed. He doesn't get to see her. And then she shows up in her human form again. He's really happy, but he's like, but I thought you couldn't stay on land. And she's like, I can only stay for a few moments. And he's like, we can still be together. And they both jump in the water, and presumably I don't know, they splash around in the water for a while. So yeah, it's a phenomenal episode. I really like this one. I always love when there's, like, story points that are uniquely from Power Rangers, like the mermaids here. They're not in Go-Go 5, but it still blends so perfectly with the Japanese footage of Aquafine with the trident. And again, I can't remember too much about Go-Go 5, but yeah, there was no mermaids there. Were there? That was something I read on Ranger Wiki, was that the plot of this is very similar to the Mask Man movie, which I do remember some of that, because I just watched a bunch of Mask Man, like, last year. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of one of the older Sentais, but anyway. Oh yeah, one of the things that I was really looking forward to talking about in this episode is, let's see, the underwater set and the suits for Marina and King Neptune. I wondered how much of that came from the Turbo movie, because in Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, there was originally going to be a character who was a mermaid. I can't remember what her name was, or if she even had a name, but she was going to be like a love interest for Adam, and she was going to be the one who leads them to Maranthius. But for whatever reason, they just cut her completely, and, like, knowing Saban and, like, the budget problems at the time, that probably hurt them really bad to cut so much from that movie. And so stuff from that movie that didn't make it into the movie was going to get used one way or the other. Similar to the rat monsters back in Return of the Green Ranger. They were made for the movie, the first movie, but for whatever reason they got cut because the director didn't like them or something. But Saban liked them, or they were expensive suits and he figured, like, we're not wasting money, we gotta use these somewhere. And they worked perfectly fine. Trying to think, was there anything else from the... Yeah, there was other stuff from the first movie that did, like, show up peppered throughout the series, or at least inspired things from throughout the series. And the Turbo movie also had little, like, things that were made for it that showed up throughout... Or, well, there were big things, like the new monster suits for Elgar and Rygog. And I think Porto might have been made for the movie, and they just cut his scenes, and... Yeah. Anyway, back to the underwater set. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, was Adam's love interest with the mermaid, their whole plot. I'm wondering if that was the inspiration for Chad and Marina in Lightspeed. It could have been. Like, maybe not. It could have existed without it, because it's a pretty basic plot. It's this kind of Romeo and Juliet thing where it's like, oh, I can't be with you, and I can't be with you, but we need to be together, blah, blah, blah. And, I'd love to know more about, like, the behind-the-scenes of this episode, and if it really does take any elements from those cut mermaid things in the Turbo movie, but unfortunately there's just not a lot of, behind-the-scenes information available for Power Rangers, not related to Mighty Morphin specifically. If it's Mighty Morphin, there's a good chance of finding out some behind-the-scenes thing somewhere. Sometimes you gotta dig really deep to find it, but it is there. But other seasons, yeah, you're out of luck. You're not gonna find out anything unless one of like the directors or like stunt people or something was very like involved with the fans or something, similar to like Greg Aranowitz in SPD. He's talked a ton about what he wanted to do with SPD, or plans that didn't make it in, or why this happened, or why they had to do this or that. And so SPD, we have a really good understanding of what happened behind the scenes. But for a season like Lightspeed, we really don't have a whole lot of information about what was going on behind the scenes. We have a little bit here and there about like most seasons. Like Alison McInnes has been putting out tons of behind the scenes pictures on her Facebook or wherever, and so that like gives us a glimpse into what was going on. But yeah, overall, I have no idea where the mermaid stuff came from. If it was made like especially for Lightspeed and was just completely separate from the mermaid in Turbo. And that's the other thing, because it was cut from Turbo, we never saw it, and the only evidence of it is like interviews, and there's a very brief comic adaptation of the movie in a Turbo movie magazine, and that shows like the mermaid from the back. Her relationship with Adam is nowhere, and she doesn't even have a face, I don't think. So yeah, um, just all that was very interesting. Let's see, looking through some of my notes. Oh yeah, when I went on Ranger Wiki to look up some trivia for this episode, I found some interesting stuff about the actors who played Marina and King Neptune, and the characters also. Ranger Wiki really embellishes their stories on Ranger Wiki. Like for Marina, it adds a lot of like subtext to her, and for Neptune, it makes it like his little offhand comments at the beginning when he's talking to Marina mean a lot more. When let's see, Marina mentions Chad can help them out for whatever reason, and he's like, "Oh, that boy from the surface," and he doesn't like her. And Ranger Wiki like wrote a whole paragraph making it seem like this was the plot of a whole episode, him not being okay with Chad. So I thought that was interesting, and this has been going on for a while, and when I watch this back, I guess I'll hear how the music turned out. Like, if you can even hear it, it's down there. I don't know. Do people like having music in the background of videos? I think it's okay. It's not, like, copyrighted music or anything that's gonna get, like, struck or anything. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed this. See ya.